This video, I'll be sharing with you the 3 ways that extraterrestrials are communicating with you and you don't even know it. These are things that are already happening in your life in certain ways, and it's time you know about it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'll be sharing with you those 3 ways that extraterrestrials are communicating with you right now, and you may not even know it. And a lot of this has to do with, honestly, the beliefs that you have. Because if you believe or understand the awareness, you could say, that extraterrestrials exist, and you are open to the idea of it or open to the experience of it, then you're more likely to recall this information. Now here's the thing though. Every single person on this planet is multidimensional, meaning that they exist at many different layers, many different levels at the same time. But the key is knowing that that is the case, knowing that we're not just this physical ego structure body, we're so much more than that. And by knowing that, we then begin to open up more opportunities that can happen to where we can recall that. Because a lot of the things I'll be sharing in this video, it's about understanding that it's already happening. It's not like in the future there'll be this happening. It's already happening, but there'll be, in the future, there'll be more of it happening consciously. So understand as well that extraterrestrials, when we talk about the idea of it, in this lifetime, there will be more and more understanding of this, and not only that, but more and more experience of it as well. Because extraterrestrials have been around for thousands of years, before humans were even on this earth. Extraterrestrials having come into earth and then leaving. But it's about understanding that a lot of these ETs are also higher dimensional beings. We exist here in 3, 4D, or 3rd, 4th density, and with the ability to now tap into more of a 5th dimensional state of consciousness as well. However, these beings, many of them are of 5, 6, or 7D awareness. And it goes beyond that. But there's also a mixture of everything in between as well. But understand that there's also, this information has been known for a very long time through that of certain authorities, you could say. I won't get too much into that. But this information just is generally known. Now when it comes to extraterrestrial contact, there are certain benchmarks that you can understand for prepping us for this kind of experience. Now, let me share with you something that Bashar has said. Bashar is a channel, Daryl Inca channels Bashar. He's been around for like 30, 40 years. And since he's been channeling, I mean literally since I think 2000 or before that, he said that the highest degree of probability that we as a society will have open contact with extraterrestrial civilization will be between the years of 2025 to 2033. That's what he's been saying for like 10, 15 years now. Now, when he says this, he says that it doesn't mean that ETs are going to land the next day, or that they're going to land on the White House lawn. But what it does mean is that if you are in resonance with that, and you have an intention to meet what you call an extraterrestrial, then you will have the ability to do so at certain locations and in certain ways. But it'll be more of a small scale thing at first. So it'll happen in different waves. It's not like the White House lawn type thing. Now understand, when it comes to extraterrestrials as well, many of them look very similar to us. Many of them are humanoid, which means, you know, the way that we use our body, it's very similar. There are some that are completely different. There are many, many different types. Just like there's many different types of plants and animals. There's so many different types because the universe is so vast. However, a lot of these could blend in with us. They could literally blend in with us and be walking around in society, we'd have no idea. So understand, it's not like they have to be great aliens that land, although I'm sure that could happen and will eventually happen in the future. But at first, my guess is it's going to be people, or it's going to be beings that look very similar to us. Because humans as a race are very prejudiced, and if you see something too different, it freaks humans out. There's still humans on the planet that are still getting over racism, meaning that you judge someone based on the color of their skin. And even though this is a meat suit body that we are using for a short period of time, and many of us have been many different races in the past, but we are coming up more aware of this. And in general, this is what Bashar said would happen if an extraterrestrial were to walk up to you, a higher dimensional extraterrestrial, which means that they're still in body, However, they have such a high vibration. If they were to walk up to us, what would happen is if we weren't integrated into who we are, and they were to be walking up to us, as they're getting closer to us, their energy field, which is so integrated, they may be feeling so much unconditional love of such a high vibration, that as they walk up to us and they could become closer to our energy field, we would be feeling within us everything that wasn't integrated would be being brought up to the surface to be integrated. And in that moment, if we weren't integrated, we would look at that extraterrestrial and we would assume that they are making us feel that negative emotion or that stuff that's coming up. And the key is knowing that it's about us integrating ourselves now so that when a higher dimensional being were to walk up to us, we would be integrated and be able to be in that same vibration. We'd be able to vibe with that ET, you could say. So it's about knowing that we must do the work now. We must integrate all of this now into ourselves, because as we integrate it, we then allow ourselves to be in a higher vibrational state so that we can perceive more of this. So in general, understand that as much as some of us would want to make and to communicate with extraterrestrials, that sometimes we have to mostly actually, we have to focus on our own vibration. We must focus on our own vibration and raising it, because as we raise our own vibration, then we are in and able to perceive of them. We can only perceive that which we're on the vibration up, which doesn't mean we got to be ETs, but understand that you are multidimensional and you have existences right now in ET civilizations. When you go to bed at night, you wake up to this as well. You know this. But when you come back in your body, there's a veil of forgetfulness and you forget all this. So, when I say all of this, let's understand as well, there are certain levels to it. There are certain protocol, I guess you could say, that extraterrestrials have with revealing and communicating with us. And the first way that extraterrestrials communicate with us is in dream state. Because in dream state, we're already in a higher vibrational state. A lot of times the dreams we have as well that we think are happening are more of symbols of things that are happening at different stages. But in general, in our dream states, we have much more access to not only extraterrestrials, but also to people that have passed away. Because as we leave our physical body, when we go to bed at night, we are then in what is called the astral body. The astral body is not bound by the physicalness of the human body and can then communicate with other people in the astral realms. And what you call ghosts are just simply people that have shed their physical body and are in astral form. And that could be people that have passed away in your current life that you could be having communication with. So when you go to bed at night, you are communicating with other beings that are people that maybe that passed away in your life. You are also connecting to that of extraterrestrials. Extraterrestrials are that of many different beings that you feel connected to. And sometimes these extraterrestrials may give you certain symbols so that you feel comfortable. Because what I'm sharing with you right now may be opening you up to understanding more that you don't need to be afraid of these extraterrestrials, because many of them are other versions of you. They're versions of you in different realities, because we exist here right now in this 340 reality, but we also exist in a 560 reality, 670 reality. We exist in many different realities. And because of that, we could see that I'm not going to be afraid of that, because that is another aspect of me. So in the same way, the first way that extraterrestrials will normally communicate with you is in your dream state. And if you open yourself up and you set the intention, you get communication in your dream state, you'll find that you start to have these opportunities, these experiences. However, sometimes they'll give you symbols. Say that you are very religious, and what you feel more comfortable with instead of ETs is that of angels. Well, you may picture that or see an angel, but it may have a little bit different vibe to it. You may feel a little bit different vibe, and you may then have a certain type of experience with that. But understand that in general, there's certain belief systems that may come in. And also, when you look at this, think about it in the terms of this way of looking at it in the form of symbols. There are certain star systems that when you start to open yourself up to, you can see certain symbols of it. For example, Sirius, a lot of times, is depicted as a dog, as the dog star, is what some people would say. And the dog star, so have you guys ever seen the movie, the Harry Potter movie, the third one, with Sirius Black? Sirius Black? Sirius has this ability in Harry Potter to turn into that of a dog. Well, Sirius is also represented by the dog star. So in your dream, you might have a communication with a dog, some type of connection to a dog, and a certain type of emotion. That's why it's also important in dreams to pay attention to the emotion you feel. And it may actually be representative of the Sirius star system, a being from Sirius that you connected to, that you are contacting. So ETs, understanding, are already in contact with you. And it depends on how open you are to this, to how much you become aware of this. And the more you open yourself up to it is the more you become aware of it. So the first place they normally will have this type of communication is in dream state, because it's just easier to get to us. There's so many physical beliefs we have, emotions we haven't processed, but in the astral form, we're much more loose. We're much more able to communicate. So set the intention that you open up to this communication in dream state and be aware of what comes up. Now, the second way that ETs will communicate with you, and this is something that Bashar once again has said will happen, is that in a way, one of the first ways we start to become aware of ETs isn't just like CNN and Fox News comes out with it on the internet, or anywhere. It will be more of people having their own memories. Imagine that. How can you be so afraid of extraterrestrials and want to fight them or something, like a lot of people are? And a lot of that has to do with social conditioning as well. We've been conditioned since such a young age to want to like fight that of these ETs because of the way they depict them in media and movies, and there's a reason they do that, by the way. But when you look at it, what you can see is that you can understand that if it's coming from you, if it's coming from your own memory, you start to have memories of some type of other planetary existence, memories of something that's happening in dream state. If you have memories like that, then guess what? You can't be as angry towards anything else because it's something that's already within you. And it's something maybe even you feel connected to, you feel compassion for. These extraterrestrials that we will be coming into contact with are other versions of us, and they have our best interest at heart because they want to see us succeed. Never before has it been on a planet that a whole planet, 7.5 plus billion people, have had the ability to ascend to a higher level of consciousness. But it is happening now. It's happening in waves, but it's happening now. And if you're watching this video, you're one of the first waves to be going through it, because billions of people will be going through this over the next coming years. But imagine that extraterrestrials are giving you and helping you unlock memories that have always been there, but in a way it's like a certain soul contract to where we become aware of these things. We unlock it. And as we unlock these memories, we become aware of them, and we can't really be mad at anyone. We can't be mad at something else because it's coming from within. It's coming so organically. So Bashar said that one of the ways that extraterrestrial contact will happen is just memories of us being connected already. It is things that communication has already happened because it's already been there. So you may think that it's a communication that's just now happening, but it could also just be a memory that is being unlocked within you. It's almost like DNA is coming on board and you're becoming more aware of this. But like I said, the first step is raising your own vibration, making the change within yourself, integrating the shadow aspect of yourself, because as you integrate the shadow aspect, you are then in a higher vibrational state, and then you can more so resonate with these beings. So memories will begin to unlock. Set the intention for them to unlock. See what happens. You have spiritual guides. Understand that as well. Your guides can help you with this process. I'm ready when I go to bed at night to have more contact. They'll give you maybe a little bit at a time, a little bit to feel more comfortable with. You know, we like to think we're just completely 100% ready right this moment. I would love to think that. But in actuality, there'll be certain things that happen to where it's like, oh, that's, it's easy to say, but it's another thing to feel it and to be in that vibration. So just know that it gets easier the more you go through it, and set the intention to as well. Now here's the third way. This way is actually pretty cool. The third way that ETs communicate with you is in physical life right now. As you walk around, there are actually not only spiritual guides around you, but there are many different projections of consciousness. Now what I mean by this is there are the ability of beings to be in that of their own reality, to project their consciousness here to help us. For example, there is I don't know if I want to share this, maybe I will. There is a group or a civilization that actually lives inside of the earth, a higher dimensional race that lives inside of the earth, and what they have is they have these little rooms. You might be asking, how I understand this, there's a show called Cosmic Disclosure on Gaia. If you go to Gaia.com, go to Gaia.com/Aaron, Aaron, and you'll see some of my favorite episodes there. But Gaia has these, I'll also leave a link in the description box below. Gaia has this show called Cosmic Disclosure that I'm a big fan of, which has to do with someone named Corey Goode and David Wilcock talking about this kind of information with firsthand experience with these kind of beings. But there is a being, a civilization that lives inside of the earth that's of fourth dimensional race, positive, helping humanity to ascend into higher vibrational states of consciousness, like what we're doing. And they have this room in one of their places. They live in this kind of magical place, but they have this room that they would go in, almost egg-like shaped seats they would sit in that are kind of like hovering off the ground. They sit in them, and they can project their consciousness to certain places on Earth. And what they might do is they may project their level of consciousness to here, for example, where I am right now. And if they're looking at where I am and they're looking at my timelines of what I'm experiencing, something that they may do is they may implant a certain idea, a certain download that I would get. This download could be a simple idea, it could be a little thought form, and in a way it's like they download that thought form into my energy field, and then I feel it and I have this thought or this idea, and that idea switches my timeline to a more optimal timeline. So these beings are in a way kind of like they can help us, guide us. And in general, these are positive beings that are helping us, so it'll be more a positive timeline thing versus a negative one. But it's almost like they plant an idea right here. It comes in my energy field. We have a toroidal field around our body. And I'm like, I have this cool idea. And a lot of times when I make these videos, by the way, the reason I can do daily videos is because I'm allowing this information to flow through. I wouldn't be able to make videos every single day for 3 years or 2 years if it were my ego that had to constantly figure all of this out. Of course, I do my own research, but this information just starts to pull through. So in the same way, that is a way that these higher dimensional beings can come in and plant, download ideas into us. Thought downloads is how you can think of it, and that's a communication. We may not be directly aware of it, but it comes within our energy field, and then it switches our timeline. So like I said, if you're interested in checking out Cosmic Disclosure, you'll see it below, but it's Gaia, Gaia.com/Aaron, Aaron, which is my name. And my top episodes will be there, my favorite episodes, and you can have a trial for it to see if you like Gaia TV. But I don't really watch Netflix, I watch Gaia TV. So if you're interested in it, you'll see it. Watch Cosmic Disclosure, you'll get sucked right in and goodbye for 3 weeks. That's what happened to me. And actually, I still rewatch the videos as well. Anyways, all three of these ways are ways that extraterrestrials communicate with us. And when you start to tap into and open to the idea, you'll find more and more experiences in your life that reflect this back to you. So understand that this is something natural. This is a part of our evolution. Between 2025 and 2033 is the highest degree of probability that we will have extraterrestrial contact. Not meaning it's on CNN and it's landing on the White House, but in general, if you are open to this, you will have more and more experiences of it. You've already been having experiences when you go to bed at night. Open yourself up, set the intention to remember more of this. Understand that a lot of these things will be memories that unlock within you, and then know that you have guidance. You have your guides to help you with this process. Connect to your spiritual guides. Many of your spiritual guides are also connected to extraterrestrial races. They most likely are, a lot of them, and you just kind of see it in ways that are comfortable for you. But in general, set that intention. You'll learn more and more about it. Something else I have for you is if you want to help and raise your vibration so that you can go through this process easier than ever, then what I have is a meditation that is called the Raise Your Vibration Meditation for raising your vibrational set point. Let's do it for 21 days. It'll change your life, and it'll help you to get to this state of integration. Also, I'll be doing more live Q&As on Instagram if you have questions about this. I do Q&As almost every single day, plus I post twice a day there as well. So you can follow me on Instagram as well. Other than that, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification here so you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.